Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today I will be testing out some waterproof drugstore makeup to see if they're actually waterproof. So I'm going to show you what makeup I've applied for this look today. It's a really simple look. I wanted to see what makeup actually withstands the water. So these are all drugstore products. I will have everything listed and linked below, as well as their prices if you're interested. And we'll see at the end, after I do the water test, which ones actually lasted and which ones did not. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to use, this is one that I have a couple products that aren't waterproof. I could not find any true waterproof version of like 3 or 4 of these items. The rest say waterproof. So this is one that it didn't say waterproof. It's the CoverGirl Outlast All Day Primer. And it was just saying that it's supposed to keep your makeup looking fresh all day. So I figured that's one I'm interested to try out. So it's just kind of a lotion-like texture. Next, I'm going to use the Revlon Color Stay makeup. This is for normal to dry skin, and it's got SPF of 20. And they finally have a pump now, but again, this is one that it didn't say it's waterproof. I couldn't find one, but it does say it's supposed to last all day, 24-hour wear. So I figured this would be a good one to test out, and it's really easy to find. This next item is supposedly waterproof. This is the NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer, and it literally says waterproof on it. I got it in the shade Light, and from what I've heard, this is a really thick, very, very thick concealer. Very tacky, so I'm just going to apply a little bit where I need it. Wow, so that's got like very high coverage. Next up, we're gonna do my brows. Now, this is again from NYX. NYX has a lot of waterproof things, and you'll see there's quite a few, and I'll have a list of all these products below. This is their Tame and Frame Tinted Brow Pomade, and it says right on it that it's supposed to be waterproof. So, I got it in the shade Espresso. I have no idea what shade I am, so we're just gonna see how this goes. So you should know this is actually like my first time using a brow pomade, so this was just weird to do generally. My eyebrows aren't perfect, but that's okay. They never are. Alright, so they also from NYX have this NYX Proof It. They have 2 different Proof It products that I purchased. This is their waterproof eyebrow primer. Oops, see, I should have put this on beforehand. How does it? It's just kind of like a sticky balm. Maybe I'll still put it on though. I'm going to still put it on, even though I presume if it's a primer I was supposed to put it on beforehand. And I'm just going to take a spoolie and kind of brush it through. I think the idea is that it's going to keep your brow hairs in place while you're swimming or whatever. Next up, I'm going to powder my face. This is one of the only other few ones that did not say waterproof. I think the rest are. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, and this is one that's supposed to work for 16 hours. So I figure, powder is not a necessity for me because I don't have super oily skin, but I figure it'd be nice to try one out anyway because I know a lot of other people do use powder. So I'm just kind of using a fluffy brush, just putting it all over the place, just adding extra coverage everywhere for this look just because I want to see how well it does. Next up, we're going to throw on some bronzer. This is the Rimmel Natural Bronzer, and it says it is waterproof, which I was excited to see a powder that claims to be waterproof. This is in the shade 20 Sunshine. They had a couple shade options. So I'm just going to it's got a little bit of shimmer to it. I'm just going to kind of bronze up this area, kind of like a bronzing contour type in one. It's kind of what I've been doing lately anyway. Moving on from there, the next thing we're gonna do is blush. Now for this, I'm using a NYX cream blush. I couldn't find waterproof blush when I was at Ulta yesterday buying all this stuff, but I thought about my NYX cream blushes and how they're like one of the few blushes I own that don't move, period. And when it comes to sweating and swimming, cream products really can be great for that. Okay, we're also going to throw on a highlighter. This is another one that I think I couldn't find a waterproof highlighter, and the reality is if you're swimming, odds are you're not going to be putting all of these products on, but I did want to try one from every category. This one didn't say waterproof, but it's a cream highlighter that I hadn't tried, but I think cream highlighters are going to do, again, they're going to probably stay longer than any powder would when it comes to swimming in water. So this is the True Match Lumi Liquid Glow Illuminator, and it's in Ice Glacé. I'm just going to put a little bit on my arm, or on my hand, kind of rub it in, and then take a little brush just to throw a little bit. Okay, so face-wise we're done. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our eyes. I have this NYX Proof It Eyeshadow Primer. So this is not the same as the eyebrow primer, this is eyeshadow. So it's just a little doe foot. I've never tried this one either. I'm just gonna get a little bit. All we're going to use for this look is this L'Oreal Infallible Shadow. I know also that the color tattoos from Maybelline are awesome. They are waterproof. I can tell you that just from swatches on my hand and washing my hand over and over again and it not going anywhere. But I wanted to try one of these powder formulas just to see how well do these stay up, because these I've never personally tested. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible Shadow in Amber Rush. It's this beautiful golden kind of rose gold shade. I'm just going to use my finger to apply it and then blend out the edges of it with a brush. So just kind of a one shadow look, really easy. Next up is, I have two different waterproof liners. I'm gonna try them both out kind of together. So one of them, this is the Rimmel Scandal Eyes Waterproof Gel Eyeliner. Up to 24-hour wear, it says it's waterproof. The other one I picked up was from Essence, and it's their eyeliner pen in waterproof. I actually used this last night and it was awesome. So we're gonna use both and just see how they do. I usually use both a gel liner and a liquid liner anyway, because I'll kind of do a thicker line with the gel liner, and then I'll use a liquid liner to kind of do the wing and make that, and just kind of go over it to make it look a little bit more crisp. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use the brush that the Rimmel one comes with. So I finished with the gel liner, and I also just kind of added in, filled in like my, right near my lash line. So now I'm gonna go over it with the Essence one, just to see how, especially if I've got a wing, will the wing actually stay? We're gonna find out. I'm very intrigued. I think with eyeliner, if you really are big on eyeliner and you know when you're going swimming that that's one of the things that you want to wear, it might be safer to layer on two different things that are waterproof. That way, if a little bit of it runs and you clean it up, you still have a decent amount still on. That's why I wear more than one kind of eyeliner throughout the day, just because I like it to stay in place, and if a little bit wears off, it's usually not very obvious at all if you have both a cream liner and a liquid liner, you know, or whatever it is. So I know most of us do not wear more than one eyeliner at a time, but it really is a great way to make sure that it stays on all day. Okay, so we are done with that portion. We need to do underneath our eyes. I was thinking, liner-wise, I'm gonna take this and just put a little bit underneath my eye because I think it'd just kind of be fun and summery and pretty. But I also am curious, again, will it stay even if it's down there? So I'm just gonna take kind of a smaller brush, get a little bit on the brush, and just kind of get it under there. It's not gonna be super obvious, I don't think, but it's just gonna be pretty, I think. So for mascara, I'm using the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume Waterproof. I had asked you guys on Snapchat for your recommendations, and a lot of you guys recommended a lot of this stuff, but a lot of you guys, mascara-wise, recommended this one, so I was very excited to try it. I remember trying the Lash Blast when it first came out. I didn't love it, but I don't feel like I gave it a fair shot, and it was a while ago. Let me actually brush through my lashes first and just make sure there's no clumps or anything weird. Does anyone else, when you're watching like a tutorial or anything like that, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do this look. It looks so beautiful. And then at the very end, they put on eyelashes, and that's what makes it look awesome. And you're like, dang it. Because like for me, I'm like, in my everyday life, it's just not who I am to wear fake eyelashes. I've talked before where I used to wear them a lot in like show choir and things like that. And back in high school, oh my gosh, like 10 years ago. That's crazy. Anyway, and it's just funny to see people wear them every day. I'm like, oh, and they look amazing. I'm not knocking people. I know a lot of you guys wear eyelashes every day. But I'm honestly just jealous because I'm like, I just don't have the patience to wear them every day. I just can't do it. So I'm jealous of those of you that you find the patience to get really good at them and to enjoy wearing them throughout the day, because for me, I just can't do it. So we're done with the look except for the lips. This is the lip product I'll be using for this. It's the NYX Full Throttle Lipstick. That was another suggestion from you guys. It does say waterproof on it. So this is in the shade Sidekick. So it's got kind of an interesting shape to it. I thought about getting like a bright red one of these for this video, but I kind of figured most of us aren't going to wear a bright red lipstick to go swimming. So this was a little more practical, where, you know, it's a shade you actually might wear while swimming, because it's not going to be super obvious, but you're still going to feel more put together. I mean, most of us aren't going to go with the full face of makeup swimming anyway, but it's fun for the test. Has a little tiny bit of transfer, but not a lot. And I'm sure after a couple minutes and it kind of like dries on, it'll be like done. So we're gonna do this test in the water and see what happens. Okay, so I actually put the lipstick on my hand as well, because I was just curious, since it is my lip color, it's gonna be really hard to see. So I wanted to see how will it do even just on my hand. And it's been on there for like probably 20 minutes now, so it should be set. So I'm really nervous. I was just telling my husband, he was focusing it for me, and I was like, listen, once I get wet, there's no turning back, that's it. How do I look? My eyes are burning. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see if anything lasted. Okay, so I just got back. So what I've realized, I just had to pat dry my face because of course there was water all over it. What I've realized, let's just start with the lips. I had it on my hand as well, I told you, so because I didn't feel like it would show up very well, whether or not it wore off. Even just looking at this, it didn't move. Like, it's the exact same as it was. It's kind of a drying formula, but it's not so drying that it's driving me nuts. But I wonder if it had been a darker color, if it would have been more obvious how dry it is. So this is not a lip product I would recommend just all the time, but if you are swimming and you do want something, I mean, it stayed in place. I don't think it stayed in place as well on this, but I had to change and stuff, so I feel like after I was changing back into regular clothes, that it smeared it. So, but it still stayed too. The foundation stayed beautifully. You can still see the bronzer, like where the glimmer and stuff was. You can still see that. The brows really stayed. The blush stayed on. Do you guys see that? And the highlight. You can see where the highlight is, you can see the blush, and I kind of ended up putting that highlight even just on top of my blush, so it all stayed in place as well. The concealer stayed too. You guys, I am so impressed. Now, I also am noticing I'm still pretty mattified, so I feel like either the foundation or the powder really held on to the, you know, it stayed true to its finish. It stayed a matte finish. So that was impressive, because I thought, I'm gonna get out of the shower and maybe the blush will still be there, maybe the eyes will still be there, but I figured my face would just be kind of like oily and, you know, a lot of my freckles coming back through, but it looks like I remembered it looking just a little bit ago. Let's talk about the eyes. I was so impressed, because when I had been, I don't remember what mascara I've been using, and it ran all over the place, but this one did not budge. Even on my bottom lashes, it's exactly as it was. And the Infallible eyeshadow in Amber Rush looks stunning, and it even stayed down here where I had placed it. And that I thought for sure would be gone because my eyes were burning, you know, and my eyes always burn when I get in water, whether I have no makeup on or makeup. So that's just me, but that was impressive. And look at the eyeliner. Do you guys see the wing? It did not budge. I was so impressed. Even like the cream eyeliner, I put it like on my waterline above my eye. that is still intact. So I'm like trying to find something that didn't really work, but I feel like everything really, truly did. And I am so impressed. When I walked out, my husband was sitting on the couch and I'm like, Tyler, literally everything stayed on. And he was like, are you serious? Because he's been with me at the pool enough to know that like I usually have mascara running everywhere. And I'm like, why did I even put mascara on today? So, oh my gosh, I will have all of these products I tried down below. I think I feel really impressed that the blush and the highlight stayed because they weren't even listed as waterproof, and yet they really were. The reason I'm impressed that the Infallible shadows stayed down here was because I used that NYX Proof It waterproof eyeshadow primer up here, but I didn't use it there. So the fact that the Infallible shadow still stayed when the water was just beating down on me, that impressed me because that means it wasn't just that primer. Now, I have a feeling that primer really helped, and I'd be interested to try that same primer with just regular eyeshadows to see if it really does make it waterproof or not. If you have any suggestions for future waterproof testing or just testing out different makeup ideas for videos, did any of that make sense? If you have any ideas for videos where I'm testing out different things, whether it's waterproof, maybe drugstore, maybe high-end, maybe the two versus each other, let me know. I would love to do those. I enjoy watching these kinds of videos, so they're fun for me to make as well. I hope that you'll stick around and catch some of my other videos. I do a lot of drugstore here. I love doing Dollar Tree makeup finds and just other dupes that I found that aren't necessarily listed as any other dupe on any other website, ones that I've come up with on my own. I love finding those for you guys, so I will link my dupe videos as well. I hope you'll subscribe to catch more of my stuff, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.